Why I decided to enter this industry is because the passion that I have for video games and movies. From when I was little, I always very envy and fantasize about all this amazing stuff that CG can do in movies, anime, or video games, and I always wanted to be a part of it. But when I was growing up, my journey when I was growing up was not that smooth. I had a lot of obstacles. I got kicked out from the school a lot. There's a point that I didn't know what do I want or what do I want to do in the video game industry. I know that I like drawing, so originally I was going to do like a concept artist. It all changed after I learned how to ZBrushing. So ZBrush is kind of one program that kind of changed my career in a way. After I learned ZBrush, I just keep doing it like day to day, day to night, like every day. I was kicked out by the school because at one semester I was taking 5 classes and I failed 5 classes, all of them. And that's where I got kicked out by the school. And I am an international student. I'm from Taiwan. So if I get kicked out of school, if I know school that's supporting my visa, I will have to go back to my country. I wrote a letter to the dean and asked her permission. Please let me get back in the program. Finally, she said, okay, but under one condition, you cannot fail any classes from now on. That's kind of the wake-up call for me. So I was like, okay, I cannot do this anymore. And luckily, right after I go back to the school, my first class is sculpting in ZBrush. And at that time, I had a really good teacher. His name is Stephen Wells, and he taught me all the basic stuff of the tools of ZBrush, how to use it and everything. And from that point, I know this is exactly what I want to learn, and this is what I want to do for my career for the rest of my life. I want to do 3D characters. I just don't go anywhere. I sacrifice a lot of stuff that I can hang out with my family, my friends, go to the party and that stuff. I just sculpting. I learned modeling, I learned sculpting on that phase, and my requirement for a 3D character artist for graduation is I have to finish 3-4 characters. And because I worked so hard and keep practicing, in the end, when I graduated, I have more than 20 characters. So that's kind of how hard that I work, and how often that I practice just for the character stuff that I really want to work on. And right after, luckily, I got hired in Sony San Diego. When I go over there, at that time, he's my idol. He's one of my mentors as well. His name is Rafael Grazzetti. He was there as my lead. We worked on 1 or 2 projects together. He helped me a lot understand the pipeline, the industry and all that stuff. So, and at that time, in between, I keep practicing myself and just doing personal art at the same time. And then there's a point that Breaking Bad is very, very popular. And that time, I made Walter White, my fan art version of Walter White, and that piece gave me a lot of attention to a lot of studios, and Naughty Dog is one of it. And after that, I just took the art test. I put a lot of energy and a lot of time doing the art test, doing my crunch in Sony San Diego, and finally they liked my art test, and that's how I get into Naughty Dog after. I think it's very important to have a mentor when you try to grow as an artist in the CG industry, because when I started, I didn't have a mentor before, and I know the struggle that all the students kind of going through. Because a lot of teachers, they teach you all the basic stuff, and it's also because a lot of teachers, they are not actually in the game industry, in production. They cannot answer or teach you a lot of stuff that you really need to know before you get into the game industry. So I think having a mentor, the most benefit thing is you can just answer questions when you can ask questions when you really don't understand. You don't have to go through all these routes trying to finding the answer by yourself. And when you finally finding the answer, you are not really sure about if the answer is right or not. But don't get me wrong, having a mentor is very important, but I think the most important thing is still self-practice, hardworking. That's the most thing that can help you grow as an artist. Love what you do. Because, for example, in my role, I spend easily 12 or 14 hours a day in the studio. If you don't love your job, it will be very hard for anyone who can handle this kind of situation. You'll be very tired very soon, you will be burned out. But if you love what you do, for example, I will be a good example. I basically said every day for me is a blast because I really want to work in this industry. This is exactly what I want to do, and this is what I love to do.